say, kids, what time is it?
Hello, Governor.
Oh, man. So it's upon us, the very last day
This is it.
of the NFL season, the 2021-22 NFL football season.
You and I have made picks in 285 games so far. Right? Is that right? So it was
I gotta check.
272.
Wow.
And then there were what? 6, right?
6 plus 4.
So that's 278 plus 4 is 282 plus 284 we've called.
Yep.
So this would be number
so
285.
285. Yep.
And for those of you on YouTube who have gone for the ride and watched us sit here and smolder over 285 football games, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to sit here and listen to this.
I'm just happy that we're able to get it all. I mean, all the stuff that happens, these days, especially these days.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give you a round of applause, my friend.
Well both of us. What are you talking about? Just all the stuff that we have going. We're not fortunate enough to be like where we could just be full-time YouTubers or just sit around not doing anything. We got pretty full lives.
Exactly. So. But if you're watching, you can make a difference and help us get there by just push the subscribe button. That's all you need to do. And you'll never be bothered as long as you don't hit the bell. Nobody will bother you. No, that's it.
Yeah, just come.
But it helps us grow.
Just choose what you want and leave the rest.
This might be a good time before we get into this to just say, and I'm going to make a little video about it for the channel. Strange things are afoot. I'm just going to keep it brief, but several channels that started at around the same time as us or after us have already reached like their subs 1,000 plus. Or they're right on the cusp. But they don't have the view hours we have. We have blown way past our required view hours. But we don't have the sub number, which is weird. And when you look at our analytics, 98% of the people watching our videos are not subscribers. 98%. So, folks, if you're watching, just if you don't mind,
hit the button.
Please hit that button. It doesn't do anything to you, and it does more for us. And it's bizarre. If you're watching anyway, why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely not having some kind of list of people that we're going to bug or anything like that. We don't bother anybody who subscribes.
No, we barely bother each other.
Yeah, we're way too busy to bother anybody.
Exactly.
We got enough.
Exactly. It's really weird. And other YouTubers that we've become friends with over the course of our existence, which has been now, about a year and 4 months or so ish, are perplexed. They're as perplexed as I am. They're like, that just is so bizarre. It makes no sense that we're FYI, I'll let the cat out of the bag. We're almost at 6,000 view hours. We're only required 4,000 for the year.
Yeah.
But yet we only have 357 people subscribed. And thank you to the 357 people.
Yes, definitely.
Without you, we probably would have given up by now. But it's just weird when you look at that analytic and it says that 2% of your viewing audience are subscribers. 2%.
So, which means if we could just get going a little bit on the subscribers, we could get monetized pretty quick after that.
And then, that starts to help us do more. So anyway, but it's a bizarre stat. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for coming along for the ride and commenting. We get a lot of feedback from our audience too, which is very nice. So. And we try to respond. And I know as it grows and gets bigger, we're not going to be able to keep up. It's just the way of life. But while we're still small, we want to keep that personal touch as long as we can. So
yeah, we'll do as much as we can. Yep.
Yeah.
Right now, we can do it easily, obviously, but and I hope we could do it for forever. Keep that personalized, but you never know
It'll be
how
tough if
big it
we're
gets. I
getting
know.
lots and hundreds and thousands of comments. You never know, but right now it's great. It's a nice steady stream, and we're able to keep up with it for the most part. So anyway, okay. So we got to pick the Super Bowl.
Yep, Super Bowl, big
Round
game.
and round we go, or I go on this game.
Is there a big game tomorrow? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've been cooking wings. I'm cooking wings in my air fryer.
Oh, I can smell it all the way over here.
Can you really?
No, just my laundry. No.
Well, that's also after we're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's domestic day for Dad. Yeah. Cooking and laundry. So
yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about the matchup in that. Like been saying that I like when there's always like somebody new coming. I hate when not hate, but I'm always like I like when the newer teams get not new as in been in the league, but like that haven't been in the Super Bowl for a while, get a chance to go. I like see somebody new in the Super Bowl every time, and we got two of them right here. It's like no repeats from last year or even a couple years ago, so I like that.
Mm-hmm. And strangely enough, we went 55 years of Super Bowl history where no team played at home. The closest one was Super Bowl 14, Steelers-Rams, was in Pasadena.
Wow.
So, that's a good 45 minutes to an hour, well, with traffic, half a day, but away. But that was kind of a home game for the Rams.
Yeah.
But this is truly a home game for the Rams a year after Tom Brady had a home game with Tampa Bay.
So yeah, two in a row now.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And I haven't done the extensive research, but I believe is it the first time that two number 4s go against each other?
Oh.
They were both number 4 seeds, and I thought I heard that somewhere, but I'm not going to just take it as I wish I had done my own homework on this. But I believe it's like two number 4 seeds. That's the first time we see that, which is significant because you have three teams in each league that actually during the regular season did better than these teams. They had to overcome some unsurmountable odds, something like that. Can't say that word. Unsurmountable odds. There you go.
Yeah, and we said it last week and the week before. It seemed like what do you battle for home field for to end up watching anyway?
Then, it's especially the two number 1s that got the extra week off and went off right away.
Bizarre.
One and done.
Yeah, but it was that kind of year from top to bottom. It really was.
Yep.
Starting right at week 1, we just started getting these great games right out of the gate. So I have a feeling we're going to end with 1-2.
I really hope so. Yeah.
So what are you thinking here?
These two teams look pretty well matched up, and this game is not one where it's a matchup from the regular season. So that's definitely also something. I think both teams went through being number 4 seeds, went through some significant struggles and overcame those struggles, and so talk about like something like the Rams getting out to this really big lead against Tampa Bay and before losing it all back and then overcoming that. That's hard to overcome such a significant shift in like momentum, especially when the other team is like at home and got Tom Brady. And so same thing with Cincinnati, against Kansas City, down big in Kansas City. And the way these two teams, I like their resiliency on both sides of it, for sure. I want to stay with like the team that I think we both kind of adopted this year. That was a team that hasn't been up there for a long time. That's like the Joe Burrow-led Cincinnati Bengals. I remember in previous years we used to follow football before on YouTube, and we always be like, sometimes Cincinnati would be out to this like 4-0, 5-0, and it's like, oh no, paper tiger, and then eventually they kind of just fell apart. And this year, I'm very impressed by them. I thought that after their bye week when they came back and got beat by the Jets that, oh, here we go again. Like they don't know how to, they haven't learned how to win. They're a young team. But what I'm going to give most credit to the coaching. That coaching staff has able to keep them, just grounded in the success and not like get away from them. And they're able to. I was really impressed, like I said, in that championship game, like being down 21-3 and just kind of, I think you said it best, like they didn't blink. It's like it's not like they just kind of lay down and went with it. And the Rams had their ups and downs as well, but I think Cincinnati has been that most consistent where they kind of just followed up like a mediocre game with like a really good game, which is a really big credit to their coaching. And I mean, they, especially against, their offensive line, giving up 9 sacks that week before against the Titans, still stuck with it. So I think they've kind of been through the whole gamut ringer of the NFL of being knocked down and still standing. And I think that will give them the edge in this game. Not that I think it's going to be a blowout by any chance, maybe like three points, 3-point game, but I think Cincinnati will come out into this one.
We are on the same page. I think it's going to be like a 3-point game.
Yeah.
Right now, it's Rams are favored by 4.
Oh, okay.
And I agree with like everything you said. I mean, when you think about, and maybe going back to that bye week in particular and moving forward from there, the Bengals became kind of a second half team.
Yeah.
You look at the first game against the Chiefs in week 16, 15. They were down in that one too. Came back and won it again. Joe Burrow seems to, he doesn't blink. I mean, I hate to say, use that term again.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What I've noticed in this playoff run, because me in particular, through a lot of that, kept saying, well, this has been a great run, but they have to learn they have to watch the team that's done it before to take that next step. And I kept thinking they're just not going to be able to win this big game because they're not quite there yet. I was wrong. And mainly because if you look in Joe Burrow's eyes, when they show that close of him with his helmet on, his eyes remind me of one person in particular who was a thorn personally in my team's side for 2 decades, and it's Tom Brady. He's got the same look as Tom Brady. Now, the Rams, in the second half of the season especially, did kind of the opposite thing. They were almost like the first half team.
First half, and then kind of
in the second half, they had trouble closing games out and gave some away late in the second half.
Yep.
And perfect example, you brought up the 9 sacks against Tennessee. The number 1 seed sacked them 9 times. Okay.
Yeah.
We're still going to win this game.
Yeah.
Unflappable. Now, if we were to swap the quarterbacks of these two teams, if Matthew Stafford got sacked 9 times, do you think he's pulling that game out?
No, I don't.
So I went back and forth on this game a lot. And very early on, I went with the obvious Rams at home. They're going to win by a field goal or something. It's going to be a close game, but they're at home. And as it went on, and as I started watching replays of Joe Burrow's playoff run and this kind of stuff, and just watching him get off the plane when they got there, the confidence and the swagger, in his mind, they're winning this game. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I've since changed my thinking. I think of Stafford in a close game in the fourth quarter. It's going to come down to that, I think.
Okay.
And look, the whole world is watching one guy in particular. It's a great game. It's a great matchup. It's the Super Bowl. But the spotlight is really on, and there's a magnification on one guy. And it's Matthew Stafford. And it's the sole reason is because they gave up so much to bring him in to get him
Right.
to
That's true.
for him to bring them to not just to bring them to this game, to win this game.
To win it.
And the bonus caveat that it's in their home stadium. Now the pressure on Matthew Stafford going into this game is enormous.
Yeah.
And as the game goes on, the closer the game is late, the more that pressure ratchets up on him higher and higher and higher. And I love Matthew Stafford. He's wicked talented, but I'm not so sure when they show the close-up of his face in that helmet, he's going to have the Tom Brady look that Joe Burrow does. So when I think about this game, I do think it's going to be close in the fourth quarter, and I think that's when Matthew Stafford throws the costly turnover, the costly interception. And I see Cincinnati winning by a field goal.
And to be fair, he's done that a lot during the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
not all games that they lost, but they kind of put them in a hole when that happens. And
well, I think, what do you have, 9 of them in the last 3 games? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Although he does have
he has a clean playoff record so far.
He has a defense on the other side that does help overcome some of that.
Yes, he does.
Which is what happens.
There's no doubt. I think the Rams are going to sack Burrow 5 or 6 times.
Right. But that's nothing new to him. It's not like that's
exactly.
It's not like that's going to
exactly. And a friend of mine said, "Well, what if they take a shot and hurt him or something?" I said,
all right. I mean,
well, here's the thing. That is a possibility. But if he gets hurt, it's going to be a fluke injury. Because Von Miller and Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd, these guys are not dirty players. They're classy players. They're not going to go for his knees or anything or his head. They're not going to do it. They're going to hit him clean. They're going to hit him hard. If he happens to fall, like have his leg caught under a lineman or something, and that's a freak thing.
Yeah.
But they're not going to target him for injury. No, the Rams don't play that way. They're going to try to beat him outright. So unless he gets hurt in a freak play, I don't think the sacks are going to bother him at all. He's going to figure out a way. And to me, the game within the game more than anything. I mean, the Rams' defensive line against the Cincinnati offensive line is a huge game within the game because Cincinnati's offensive line is a bit of a sieve.
Yep.
And the Rams' defensive line is terrifying. Their front seven is terrifying. But for me, the big game within the game are the 2 uncoverable wide receivers, Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting because if one team figures out how to stop the other guy's uncoverable guy, they're going to win this game.
They're going to take a big part of the other team's.
And when I look at the running games, I'd put them equal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is Cam Akers playing?
I thought he was.
Okay. Now, because Sony Michel's a solid back. And we know about Mixon. Mixon's awesome. Cam Akers can be awesome, but he is prone to fumbling.
Right.
He dumped it on the ground twice in the Tampa game and let him back in. So that also could be a factor. But I don't think the Rams. I think they'll run more in the first half. I doubt they'll run much in the second half. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see either way. But I'm with you on the Bengals. I think it's Cincinnati.
It is kind of amazing when you talk about Joe Burrow and having that excruciating injury last year that took him out and to come back and have like this type of mental
toughness
that it's like you're going to get hit so many times and it's not stopping him from playing his game, his A game. I think he's just that's pretty incredible of him to overcome that. Also, I think there's a little bit of a dichotomy. You spoke a little bit about this dichotomy between the way the two teams are built, especially on defense. Like the Rams did go, starting with Ramsey, that was a big trade. Von Miller, and of course Stafford,
and bringing back Eric Weddle.
Yeah, and more, kind of creating this, team of superstars, whereas the Bengals kind of like created their team out of mostly the draft and especially on defense, where like me personally, I can't think of a lot of names from their defense, and yet that defense kept the Kansas City offense in their home from scoring
two big acquisitions they made.
Where they scored like three points in the second.
Yeah, two big acquisitions. Trey Hendrickson, who came over in that trade with Seattle, was huge because he had 16 sacks this year or something like that.
Yeah.
He's a beast. And the other was the free agent signing of Mike Hilton from Pittsburgh. Mike Hilton's already made 2 huge plays in the playoffs.
Yeah.
those were they plugged like two important holes in their defense. Like even when the Bengals were kind of bad, their defense was still solid.
Yes.
They had Dunlap, and that's traded him to Seattle to get Hendrickson. So they've made the right moves. You're right, but they're mostly built through the draft. So it's
and again, I go back to giving the coaching staff a lot of credit. Those adjustments that they made, like from the second half against both teams, against all three teams, the Raiders, Titans, and Kansas City especially. It's like they have a great coaching staff, I think.
Yeah. Well, and Zach Taylor, here's another game within the game, was part of McVay's staff.
Oh, yeah.
Just a couple years ago. So, in fact, wasn't Taylor the OC in the Super Bowl when they played the Patriots?
I think so.
With Jared Goff. So, it's interesting. It's really, you're right. It's a fun Super Bowl. We get two different helmets this year. No Chiefs, no 49ers, no Tampa Bay.
No Tampa Bay.
Right.
No Aaron Rodgers.
Right. So it's going to be fun. There was one last point. Oh, I wanted to make one quick point too about while we're talking about like the Chiefs and Mahomes and stuff. Someone on the radio this week was talking about how Patrick Mahomes is one pass from being 0-3 in the Super Bowl and having 0 rings, which might change the trajectory of how he's perceived.
No, that's a good point.
I remember this. It was late in the third quarter, I think, or maybe early fourth. Garoppolo had Emmanuel Sanders wide open.
Oh, I remember.
And overthrew him. He would have walked into the end zone untouched, and he missed him. Totally missed him. And from that point forward, Garoppolo came apart. We saw what happened. If he hits Emmanuel Sanders there, and they would go up by 3 scores at that point.
Yeah, that
game's over for all intents and purposes. And Patrick Mahomes right now loses 2 Super Bowls and 2 championship games. And it's a different conversation about him.
Yep.
So very interesting food for thought going into next year. Like,
Yeah, as Kansas City kind of slowly maybe unwinds out of the current situation, like you can't just keep that whole, core together the whole time. So
no, and it makes you wonder, you start talking about these teams. Look at like Aaron Rodgers. He's only been to 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brett Favre only got 1 Super Bowl. Like there's Drew Brees only got 1 Super Bowl. There's a lot of these guys. But Mahomes was kind of built up to be the heir apparent to Tom Brady. He was going to be the new face, right? Well, I mean, again, if Garoppolo hits that pass to Emmanuel Sanders, or they have just a better quarterback play that game,
right?
Patrick Mahomes hasn't won shit,
right? Yep.
So, it's interesting. It's a nice what if. What if that pass gets caught?
Yep.
So.
And he's a very different player than Brady. His style is a different player.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's more dynamic.
What you mentioned before, Burrow is a lot more like the style of Brady.
Burrow,
the way they play. I mean, not.
My favorite quote from Joe Burrow is when they asked him before he went to the championship game if he was going to be nervous or something like that, and he said, "Have you ever been to an SEC championship game or a national championship game in a big college stadium? It's a hell of a lot louder than this."
Yeah, it is. He's right.
So he's unflappable, and that's why I think he's going to be the X factor. He's not going to panic right to the end.
Yep, and looking in the future, it's like he's going to be around for a while. So we'll see how Cincinnati kind of is like kind of the next big.
Well, and I'm going to go on record right now as saying that you were tortured by Tom Brady too for 20 years in your own division. I'm happy with the Bengals now, but you guarantee that 3 or 4 years from now, I might be going, God, I'm so sick of this. Get rid of it. I'm tired of the Joe
That's
Burrow.
Right.
I'm tired of the Jamar Chase. Just get these guys out.
Yeah, you're right. Right in your division. That's right. The Browns are,
Oh, you know what I just realized?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I never put up hang on a second. I never put up our graphic. We've been blabbing about the Super Bowl the whole time. I never put the graphic up.
Everybody knows it's a Super Bowl, with or without the graphic.
I know. But I had to put it up. I made it. So there it is. There's the graphic. So before we move on from the Super Bowl, please send in your picks. I know we're going to give you 12 hours. on this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, busy week.
That's okay. Most people already have it in their heads, so they just have to type it in.
Yeah, it's one game. It's not like we're doing the whole league. So
Right.
So yeah, that's 6:30 tomorrow, February 13th on NBC with Chris and Al from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. So what else happened in Inglewood this week? Oh, I know. Remember we went over the Man of the Year thing?
Yep.
Well, they awarded the Man of the Year, Edson. I'm going to share my screen. Hang on, let me call it up here. And now, do you think it's a little home cooking on this thing?
Because it's from Englewood.
I mean, they picked a ram. It's in L.A. and the Rams are in the game. Look, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I mean,
yeah, because as we said, everyone who got nominated deserves it. So,
Exactly. It's just wonder if he got the edge because of where the game's being played and who's in the game. But, wow, Kurt Warner looks old. So,
we're going to have to track this in coming years. It's like, is it the Man of the Year award always going to go to the
right.
one of the Super Bowl? Well, no, we probably won't have a home Super Bowl anymore.
Right. Well, you never know.
After this.
Yeah. So, congrats to Andrew Wentworth and congratulations to all the nominees. I mean, it's the NFL brings its fair share of negativity with it. And
these guys, I mean, they're untouchable. They're such a gold for the NFL, like in more ways than just, financially. They're just such a perfect example of what to look up for all the kids to look up to.
Yeah. Yeah. And the trophy is aptly named the Walter Payton Man of the Year because Walter Payton was nothing but pure class. Pure class. What a great guy. And he should still be with us. That's just tragic.
Yeah.
So, next up, got a little more news here. You thought this would be a short one.
Yeah, we're all done.
Let's get through a few more of these. They announced the new Hall of Fame class. Now, I don't know. This might have been, I don't want to be disrespectful, but this was one of the most thud Hall of Fame class announcements I've ever seen. Like, I looked at it and went, okay.
Okay. I knew we were going to say that. Yeah.
It's very meh. Yeah, all right. I mean, we can go over real quick who made it, but Tony Baselli. I mean, that was a no-brainer, right?
Yep.
Let's see, who else here? Well, where's the list? Where's the list?
Yeah, how come they...
Did I pick the wrong... I picked the wrong article, didn't I?
It does say...
Boomer moment. I picked the wrong article.
Tony Baselli and...
Leroy Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this was really... there was no splash name on this.
I know what you're saying. Like, the names don't come really hard at you. Like, it was someone who we always talk about in our, remember when, because we've been watching football for quite a long time. So we always start talking about, remember when this guy was,
Yeah, it was
Barry Sanders or
no like Locke. Here, I got it. I got the right one. No, Locke first ballot Hall of Famer jumped off the screen at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Brady stays retired, you're gonna in 5 years you have Brady, Roethlisberger.
Now that will be a huge one. Yeah.
There's nothing like that this year. So here they are. So we had Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills. Sam Mills was awesome. That's a posthumous award. Richard Seymour.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Seymour was good, really good. I mean, this is kind of a Hall of very good class.
Yeah. I mean, there's names that come out, but not in a huge way.
Right. Brian
I
Young.
remember Cliff Branch.
Cliff Branch should have been in a long time ago.
Yes.
He's one of his legacy ones. Art McNally and Dick Vermeil.
Obviously,
another one.
Dick
Vermeil.
Vermeil.
How did that take so long? But
right. Right. That's more like that. Like not somebody like these big name, but like why are these guys only doing it now? It's like,
well,
what's
yeah,
going on here?
because you can only put 5 in a
I
year, so
know.
these guys get left off, and then they have to be
Yep.
voted in on a legacy ballot and that kind of thing.
Jeez.
But like Sam Mills is another one. I mean, Sam
Yeah.
Mills has been deceased for how long now?
Jeez.
So it is fine, but yeah, he died in 2005. Sam Mills,
Oh man.
like he was dominant. Remember the Saints? They had those 4 linebackers. Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yeah. That was.
Wow, he was one of them. Richard Seymour, bounced around, cut his teeth in New England, made his name in New England.
Yeah, I definitely remember him during that.
Yeah, Bryant Young, 49ers, Cliff Branch. Cliff Branch, my God. That's another one. Like, what are you kidding me?
He's the one that, like, yeah, I clearly remember, but it, like, made me think, oh, that she should have been in a while ago.
Oh, my
It's
God.
like,
Yeah, I mean, he was a dominant player in the 70s. I grew up as a kid. Him and Bolitnikoff used to drive me crazy, torturing the Steelers. And Dave Casper, the tight end. Gee,
oh yeah, Casper, that's right.
holy cow. Those guys.
Ken Stabler.
Art McNally for officiating. Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil, my God. I mean, there's another one. 2 Super Bowls, 2 different teams. Takes this long. So, and then some of the people left out were like Devin Hester, who I guess, what do you have, like 6 or 7 kick return touchdowns in 1 year?
Jeez. Yeah.
There are teams who don't get 6 or 7 in like a decade or more.
Yeah, he was like the special teams specialist.
He was a whiz. Yeah,
Jeez.
absolutely. So, I don't know. I mean, congratulations to them. They got in the Hall of Fame. It's great. Some were way overdue, and others were kind of like, there was just no marquee player, like nothing that just like blasted at you off, which is weird, just weird. And then lastly, the NFL also Thursday night did their honors show. So they, of course, they have their past players. Saw Demaryius Thomas there. That was weird. Demaryius Thomas, too young. So the Pepsi Rookie of the Year was Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Okay.
Defensive Player of the Year, Steelers. T.J. Watt, of course.
Definitely. Yep.
About friggin' time.
Yep.
Best Moment of the Year. What'd you think of that one?
I mean, I didn't really expect it to be a kicker, but
there were so many great moments this year.
Wasn't that, I know, wasn't that like really early in the year too?
Yeah, it was kind of midway. I think like week 7 maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. This whole season it should have been like, moments like like 10 for this year.
But in a year where everything came down to a last minute kick,
yeah,
it's appropriate that a kicker got that. I heard a great thing on the radio the other day because they were talking about this, and one of the guys suggested that maybe they need to change the rules a little bit because these kickers are so good, right? I mean, Justin Tucker, 66 yards. I mean, that's insane.
That's insane. Yeah.
They were like, maybe what you do is the farther back they go, they have the goalpost on like a ratchet, and they can shrink bring them in. And make it tougher, and maybe give them an extra point or something.
Extra point,
like make it 4 points or something, or 5 points if it's.
Imagine if you're giving like the team the choice where it's like every like 5 yards back you get another point.
Or 10 yards back.
Certainly make it interesting.
So like if it's over 50 yards, it's worth 5 points, but they also bring the posts closer together, so it's really narrow. And another person said too, or you take the top and you tip the top like this.
Oh.
Right? So the farther back they go and they got to kick it low, it has a better chance of getting blocked.
Yep.
Because they can't kick it way up high because at the top it's very, very narrow. Interesting ideas to maybe curtail these kickers who are just automatic from halfway, midfield now. It's crazy. Offensive Player of the Year, the AP Offensive Player of the Year, again, Jamar Chase. Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so here we go. There's the matchup right there. Micah Parsons won Defensive Rookie of the Year. There you go, Edson. The Pro Football Hall of Fame class we just talked about.
Certainly thought, yep.
Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award goes to Patriots Special Teams Matthew Slater. Comeback player of the year, Joe Burrow, as you brought up with the knee.
It's like it's the amazing thing about it is that it's like I don't even think there was a moment in the whole season where I thought about that, like that he had that injury the year before. It was like it wasn't a focus. It was like it wasn't one of those things that they kept at, because he just overcame it. So we
Didn't it kind of feel like, I almost thought like there was a year in between for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah, like it was more like not last season but
the year before.
wow.
Right.
It's like
yeah. Crazy. I thought of you when I saw this one. AP Assistant Coach of the Year, Dan Quinn.
And of course, he's going to stay there.
Finish what he started. Salute to Service Award by USAA. As much as Gronk was trying to get that award by calling that girl on the phone.
What the heck?
The Broncos fullback Andrew Beck got that. The Unstoppable Performance of the Year, Joe Burrow versus the Chiefs. Week 17.
Yeah.
Deacon Jones Sack Leader Award, TJ Watt. Yep. FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Year, Tom Brady and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor had to get something.
Oh, my God, right? Yeah.
I know, like, he kind of gets thrown in the back because of the way things happen with the Colts at the end, but he deserves some recognition.
The Bud Light Celebration of the Year, Celly of the Year. Dolphins defensive lineman, Christian Wilkins for the Worm.
Oh, man.
Coach of the Year presented by Invisalign. Titans head coach Mike Vrabel.
I agree with everything that team had to deal with. And I know they didn't go far in the play, but to end this is all regular season awards. To end up the #1 seed after what they had to overcome.
Especially losing their best player.
Yep.
And they didn't really even have Julio Jones all year.
Right.
And for a while, they had neither A.J. Brown or Julio. Both of them were gone.
Yeah.
And they just kept on winning. DraftKings Daily Fantasy Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Small wonder. I mean, God, whoever got it. I usually have him on my fantasy teams.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't play this year. And shout out to my brother who told me last year, dude, that dude's done. They don't use him anymore.
Oh, boy.
Way to go, Chris. Fan of the Year presented by Captain Morgan, Atlanta Falcons fan Harry Eisen.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they had that.
I didn't know either. And maybe the most controversial of all, the AP Most Valuable Player, delivered by Pizza Hut, Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be the MVP, but I really think Tom Brady should have won.
Well, I mean, if you look at, their accomplishments during the regular season, it looked like the Tom Brady did more than him. So it's like, I'm not even talking about any playoff stuff or anything like that because it's all regular season. And Tom Brady did seem to have better numbers.
And they've kind of made it a point. They shouldn't even call it the MVP anymore because it's always given to a quarterback. Tom Brady was the top-rated quarterback in all of football. And he bowed out in the divisional round, but so did Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's 1-1A. I think the interesting thing is that they did give it to Rodgers despite the league and the media and everybody beating up on him all year for.
That is interesting, and okay.
For being for wrong think.
So they didn't turn it into a political result. So that's good.
Right.
And the only thing the other note I was going to say about it, those awards, I didn't say anything like not that I want to bring up this guy more than everything else, but I read this article with Micah Parsons, who won the defensive rookie. He said he played injured all year.
Really?
What the heck? Yeah.
Really?
It's a hyperextended knee that happened in the preseason.
Hold it. He was that dominant on a bad knee.
That's what I couldn't I had to kind of read it over and over because on top of that, when they went to get, what was it, in the Pro Bowl shenanigans?
Yeah.
He came out faster as the fastest guy on there.
The race, I watched that. Yeah.
Like, what the?
He beat everybody.
Knee?
Shirtless, too. In 40-degree weather, he had no shirt on.
Like, the whole thing seems like really kind of out there.
That is out there.
But,
wow. If that's true and he comes back next year at 100%, he's going to be better than that.
We'll
Wow.
see.
No wonder Dan Quinn wants to
Maybe
stick
that's
around.
why Dan Quinn wants to stay there. He wants to be the kind of like the author of something.
Well, and then you have Trayvon Diggs. Did you watch the Pro Bowl skills competition?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's better than his brother. And he's a defensive back. He won the wide receiver contest as a defensive back.
I wonder if the Cowboys are going to like start thinking maybe he can play wide receiver.
They used to do that with Deion Sanders once in a while.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Just put him out there once.
He's got incredible hands. I did have to laugh. Did you see Stephon Diggs' tribute to the Bills Mafia?
No.
They had to do like a crazy catch, like invent something
that's right.
like the NBA does with the crazy jams. Yep, he gets on top of a pickup truck. And they're like, what the hell? And they put a folding table out and he jumps off the truck. Mac Jones throws the ball. He catches it, and he goes through the table, butt first, right through the table, collapses the table.
Why the heck would you want to do something
awesome,
like that?
But everybody in Buffalo was like,
"Ah, are you kidding me?"
Especially,
wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
The GM and the owner, and
they're like, hey, let's put something in his contract to do that.
Yeah, right. It was hilarious, though. I could not stop laughing. It was the best. I think I found the video of it. I'll have to send it to you. It's awesome. But he got topped by his little brother twice in that wacky catch thing.
Yep.
And then the dodgeball game.
Oh yeah. That was fun.
So
I like those kind of things better than the actual Pro Bowl.
I know the Pro Bowl's boring. It was more fun to watch the
just
skills thing. And there was another play where Trayvon Diggs, and I thought this too with the if the Cowboys were watching, they were doing a competition where the quarterback's throwing it into there's like holes in a wall.
Oh yeah, yep.
And the DBs are trying to pick it off. And Diggs went to get one. He ran right into the wall, like smashed his face into the wall. I was like, oh, jeez. He got right up and said he was okay, but man, that's the thing. I remember, who was the running back for the Patriots years ago? They were playing beach volleyball. I'm sure you remember this.
Yeah.
In the Pro Bowl skills thing, it was 3-on-3 beach volleyball, and he like blew out his Achilles tendon, and he never played again. His career was over. I forgot who it was. I'm sure if I Google it, I'll find it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, actually, people watching probably want to know too. I'm going to quickly Google this. Patriots.
I like one of my clearest memories of these games was like Dan Marino. I forgot the year it was, but Dan Marino was still in the league, and there was this quarterback competition, and he was like down by like I don't know 40 points, and he had to like hit this target 50 yards away, moving target 50 yards away in the smallest circle of like the target, and he did. He won. Like I clearly remember this, and it's like never forget this.
Russell Wilson kicked ass in that this year.
Yeah, well, that I'm not surprised about.
Yeah, it's Robert Edwards.
Wow, jeez.
In 1999, the outstanding rookie suffered a career-changing knee injury.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember I was actually watching that. I was at a sports bar with our friend Doug, and we're standing there watching that, and he went down. I was like, ooh.
Jeez.
Man, yeah, you don't want to get hurt. Yeah. Oh, it was beach football.
Yeah.
The league invited him to partake in the so-called Rookie Beach Bowl alongside other top draft picks like Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson.
Wow.
Woodson was on the same team as Edwards. Wow. Just like the Patriots back, he too jumped on defend. Charlie Batch's pass intended for wide receiver R.W. McQuarters. Woodson and McQuarters got up. Edwards did not. He landed awkwardly. Did not feel any pain right away. The pain would come later. After he was carried off the field under applause and placed on a buffet table for initial evaluation, the pain started in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Edwards had not only torn 3 ligaments in his left knee, the ACL, MCL, and PCL, and partially tore his LCL tendon as well. He also suffered major nerve damage. On top of all of this, and the most serious of all injuries, he sliced the artery in his left leg.
Jeez.
That is when
no
the
wonder he
then
never played
24-year-old was
again.
told his leg might have to be amputated if the blood flow was not sufficiently stopped or sutures in the artery did not hold. It's awful. Yeah, he was awesome that year. He had 1,507 yards that year, 13 touchdowns. Yeah, that's just tragic, man. I remember that like it was yesterday. Hard to believe that was 1999.
Career ending. Jeez.
So when you see like Diggs jumping off a truck through a table and and Trayvon running into the wall and smashing his head, like as fun as these things are, it can cost you a career.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? This Robert Edwards could have been a Hall of Fame back for all we know.
Definitely heading that way.
Yeah. So it's all fun and games till somebody gets hurt, Edson.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. I was thinking about bringing up the Dan Snyder debacle. I think we should let that coast.
I was trying, and I was thinking about bringing something else from the lawsuit, but I didn't want to do it here because it's like we want to end it kind of on a positive note for now. We could
we could go
do the post-mortem thing.
Yeah, Brian Flores, the whole thing. There's a lot going wrong at the management level of the NFL.
Yeah, yep. That's
shock of all shocks. But I think being Super Bowl week, this is about celebrating the game, not about the problems at the front. So
yeah,
we'll
I agree.
Let that go. So
everybody, enjoy if you can, enjoy the game, and I hope it's a very enjoyable game.
I think it will be, and I congratulate you. You beat me in the regular season. You've beat me in the playoffs.
Not by much. I mean, we're both kind of. I mean, I think you looked at the numbers a few weeks ago and you said we were actually doing pretty well compared to the so-called football pundits.
Yeah, actually, we did do better than a lot of the mainstream media people. So that's why you got to watch YouTube, not mainstream media. Those corporate hacks, they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Whatever the news is,
they're
whether it's political news or sports news.
So our playoff records are you're 7-5, I'm 5-7.
Which none of them were that outstanding.
Either we're both getting another L or another W, but we have the same pick, so it is what it is. So
yeah, the playoffs were kind of didn't if you went with the kind of the traditional picks, you kind of not going to be doing well because they were very untraditional playoffs. That's for sure.
They certainly were. So, and you beat me in the regular season bad by 5.
So. Not bad. Well,
that's 5's a lot. I'm gonna come.
We'll remember next
2022. Year. I'm gonna get you, man.
Wow, it's just I still think it's amazing. That was like the whole full season. 285. No, I remember that. There's 285 games in the season. Currently, I mean, it didn't used to be because we added that extra week.
And when they go to 18 games, they'll be even more. So
18 weeks. Yeah, I don't know. Is that even a possibility?
I think it's the year after next.
Oh, it's already it's
going to happen.
Works. Yeah. Okay,
but I think everybody gets 2 buys too. I'm pretty sure. So
wow, so that's going to put the Super Bowl at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
which is fine with me.
Fine with me.
Hey, maybe we should pick USFL games. They start in April.
Dude, is it really? That league is still
April 16th. Okay. Wow. I was looking last night. The New Jersey General tickets. Guess how much they are?
Like $12.
Oh. You overshot by $2 or $10.
Oh my gosh, that was pretty good.
And kids under 15 are free.
Wow.
Now that's how you get people interested in your league.
Exactly.
It's one price, general admission. So $10, go and pick a seat
awesome.
And sit down.
I think that's awesome.
I might go. Check a game out.
That's awesome.
Down in the Meadowlands. Why not?
I'd like to try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the closest one in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, give Hartford a team. Come on.
I know. Wish they would.
Maybe when they expand, there's only 8 teams.
Okay, that's pretty good to be able to just not have to, give a whole week's pay or a month's pay to watch a game. Just be able to just get anything.
And let the kids in for free. Kids get in free. So
that's awesome. That's great. I like that.
It's fantastic. So, but yeah, actually, real quick, and I know this is a football show, but I just want to say one thing too, and this will get you going. Catchers and pitchers are supposed to report on Tuesday, the 15th of February. I heard that in the last 70-plus days of this MLB lockout, the league has made one offer to the Players Association. Count it, 1. They are not starting on time. No way.
Baseball.
Baseball has no idea how unpopular they are, and how much damage they're doing to their unpopular sport.
They're crazy. It's like you can't afford to be doing that.
They did this nonsense 2 years ago coming out of a pandemic lockdown, and they were bickering over money. And like, no, go out there and play. Nobody cares about your game anymore, man. Nobody can. If they shut this season down, do you think anybody will care?
They're not coming.
Do you think the reaction will be anywhere near what the reaction was in 1994 when they shut down? No. They're losing. Baseball, wake the F up, man.
I think probably maybe like by the time the summer starts, they'll be wondering, hey, I wonder if baseball is going to come back. But like kind of like as a question, like not that your life depends on it or anything like that. They'll be like, hey, when's baseball started?
They are unbelievable.
But no, I wasn't even thinking, of missing it. I would miss it if it doesn't show up. So.
Well, the owners are still saying that they don't want to lose any games off the schedule.
Really?
But there's no way they're gonna. I don't see them resolving this by Tuesday. Do you?
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Extend it deeper into the football league? That's even. People really turn off by then.
They're gonna have to do day-night double headers because they want both gates. Not like in the old days where you get to see both games.
I mean, that'll certainly go for the health of your players doing that.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. I might do a video, or maybe you and I can hop on and do a video. Maybe once they resolve this, or if they don't resolve this, if we start blowing past certain deadlines, like the exhibition game schedule gets pushed, and if anything, I can see the exhibition season getting cropped shorter.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody cares about that except for people down in Florida who go to those games for $5. But if we get closer and closer to April, this is going to start to get problematic.
Jeez.
Just get it together, man. You're lucky people watch you at all anymore, baseball.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's it for me. You got anything else?
Yep, that's it for me.
Oh, real quick. Sorry. One more thing. It's not football related.
One more thing.
I made a video recently about the Miracle on Ice.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
I wanted to talk about real quick that the NHL pulled out of the Olympics in December. Very, very late. Decided not to go. Which gave Team USA about 2 to 3 weeks to find a team, put it together, run some practices, and get their butts to China. Right now, as of yesterday, they're 2-0.
Wow.
And the second win was against Canada. They beat Canada.
Holy cow.
I got a team they just slapped together. So good luck to Team USA, and the Olympics ratings are in the toilet because the fact that the Olympics are in China is a criminal thing.
Yes, they are the toilet.
That's ridiculous. What are they doing there?
And that's basically them. Not that I was like the best Olympic fan, but I tried to follow it as much as I could. But like the fact that they chose to go to China, it's like I'm kind of like that alone. And this isn't against the actual athletes there. I know they've been working hard and they're so good. And you've seen some of those YouTube videos. There's unbelievable. I call them stunts. What they could do, with their balance and everything. It's like the fact that it's there. It's like I don't have a lot.
I've tried, and you're right. I mean, the athletes. This is sad for me for them.
Yeah.
They've worked years to get to this point to be on the world stage at the Olympics, and there's no fans.
Yep.
Nobody was watching on TV. Nobody cares. And then, I'm watching the ski jumping and stuff. It's right next to a nuclear power plant.
Ugh.
And on top of it, China doesn't have any snow. They're manufacturing all the snow. You can't just move the games at the last minute. I get that because whatever city gets it has to put in a whole infrastructure and But back in 2020, when they knew these games were going to Beijing with what happened, you got to pull it.
You got
to pull it. You can give it back to them down the road, but you've got to pull it now. Italy's next. They should have just moved it up. Give Italy theirs now.
Yeah.
And they would have had 2 years, which I think they could have put something together in 2 years. So I'm with you. It's sad, and it's horrifying to watch on TV. These kids are competing their guts out, and there's nobody watching. And they're under such heavy scrutiny that walking around the Olympic Village with the CCP breathing down their neck.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yep.
It's just bullshit.
I went to live that way.
It's horrible, but good for all the athletes, not just Team USA. The athletes from all over the world, but go Team USA. So just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I really appreciated that video because right after watching that, I was like, oh, you know what? I gotta go rewatch those highlights of that game because you can find,
Oh yeah,
especially the last like 2 minutes, you can find on you and the highlights on.
yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I was like, I remember this, and it was like that was awesome. It's like
It
I
was
had to go
awesome.
back and watching Al Michaels, oh my gosh, how different he looks.
I know,
Back
I
then. I
know.
was like this.
Yeah, I tell you, Jim Craig was unbelievable. Jim Craig captured my imagination, and that's why I learned to play hockey. I wanted to be Jim Craig.
Oh, really?
That's why I'm a
Okay.
hockey goalie. Yeah. I was 11 years old when that
Quite
game
a
happened.
game that was.
Oh, it was
Jeez.
awesome. It was just awesome. And nothing has felt like that ever since. I mean, that was just, I'm really happy to have experienced that moment because, they send pros now and it's not the same. So.
Yeah.
And even this year, even if they somehow win, it won't be the same because not just because the venue, the situation. It'd be amazing if they win being slapped together in a month.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it doesn't have the same appeal anymore. The Olympics
know.
are not what it used to be.
No. And some of that does have to do with like our move away from like back then. That's basically what was on TV, and then you didn't have a lot of choices and stuff like that. Now you
Exactly.
got all this streaming channels and
Yep.
all this. I get that some of that, but this year specifically is something more than that. But,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's sad. Like I said, it's like when I watched the hockey playoffs a few years ago in those empty arenas, and it's just not the same.
yeah.
You need the crowd feedback. It just makes a huge difference. Those poor athletes.
Yeah, I mean, look at what you just said about Joe Burrow being in the SEC championship, and that experience has gotten him to the point where he was completely prepared for success in the NFL.
Yeah, right. No moment's too big because he already been through them.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I'm glad you brought it back to football to close it out because it is a football show, and we went
That's
way
right.
off rails here. So, all right. Well,
And
thanks.
good
for
luck
watching.
to all the players tomorrow. All
Yeah,
of them.
it's going to be a good one. Write us a comment and tell us what your favorite commercial was. How about that?
All right.
So you can find us on the socials above Edson. You can also find us on the Rumble above me. Please like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching all season. And we'll be back with something soon, sports related, in addition to all our comic book, movie, and TV videos as well. So
Yeah, love my comics.
it's been a great season. Thanks, everybody. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, please subscribe to GeekTime TV. It really helps us grow the channel. And make sure you hit that bell icon in order to receive notifications every time we drop new content here. You can also check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GeekTimeNet. Thanks again for watching. We will see you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?